watching my girl. Ever since I introduced you, listen right here. You've been shifting and squirming, the kind of movements that make me nervous, man.
Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be doing a playthrough of Alien Fate of the Nostromo. I have our board all set up. We're going to take a valiant crew through the Nostromo and hopefully complete our objectives and win the game. First, we're going to be doing a quick setup. If you're interested in a more in-depth setup, please go check out the link to Rodney Smith's Watch It Play It video, or of course, I will put the link to my earlier playthrough right up here where I did a more detailed setup. But what you need to know here is that we have some scrap on the board in preset places according to the rule book. We also have these coolant canisters down here and also some preset places as well. The coolant canisters are a finite resource. These scrap are not a finite resource, but once there is no more scrap left in the pile off to the side, then you cannot be placing any more out there. But we're going to be using scrap and coolant to complete objectives and to create different items that are hopefully going to fend off our alien that is found down here in the nest, or potentially be used to complete some of our objectives. Our morale track is right here. We're going to be playing with 3 crew members based on I asked people in the comment section of my unboxing video what we should do, and I've got some pretty good ideas. So I've got a crew all set up, and it's going to be 3 of them. Also in this, we have had a majority of the people asking for the Ash variant, so Ash will be on the board. He starts in the med bay right up here with 2 scrap. He is going to be the bane of my existence. He is going to attempt to take the scrap from my characters or also from the board, and he could cause morale damage as well as we play through the game. We have our encounter cards all set up. The only thing left to place on this board are our concealed tokens. We have a bunch of these concealed tokens off to the side, and we're going to mix all those up, and we're going to place 3 of them out into the playing field here. 1 will go in the workshop, 1 will go in the maintenance bay, and 1 will go in the garage. That is where the concealed tokens start. More will be coming out based on these encounter cards. You'll see how that works during the playthrough. Let's go ahead and check out what objectives we have to complete, and let's see who our crew is. Here are the 3 members of the Nostromo that I have chosen to play with. I had a really interesting comment that said, hey, why don't you do something completely different from what most people are going to do? Don't use Ripley and take out their leader. So Dallas and Ripley are not going to be part of this crew. We're going to be playing with Parker, Lambert, and Brett. Each one of them have a completely different special ability, which is going to be awesome. These up here are actions. That's going to be how many things we can do during a turn. And each one of them, like I said, have a special ability. Brett here can reduce the cost of any item that costs 2 or more scrap by 1 scrap, and the item doesn't take an action to craft. So he's a pretty crafty guy. Get it? Lambert here allows her to spend an action to look at the top card of the encounter deck, and I may put that back on top, or I can put it on the bottom. We also have Parker. Parker can spend an action to add 1 scrap to my inventory from the scrap pile. I can only use that once per turn. As you can see on their character cards, there are 3 empty spots and a coolant only spot. Every character can only carry 1 coolant canister around with them. The coolant canisters are going to be used for objectives. Another thing you can do is, as an action in the workshop, you can destroy the coolant canister to gain yourself 2 scrap. But be careful. Like I said, these are a finite resource, and if you have an objective that uses coolant canisters and you don't have any left, well, guess what? You're not going to win. Those are our characters. Let's go ahead and check out our objectives. Before we do our objectives, I do want to mention these are the different items we can craft, and they're all found here on this card. At the time of this recording, there is a slight difference here in the rules. It says 3 scrap to make a motion detector. The card says 2. I'm going to be playing with the card. This could be wrong. An FAQ has not come out at the time of this recording, so we're just going to play with what the card says. But all of these different items are down here, and what they do are found on this card, and you'll see how some of these work during the playthrough. Hopefully most of them. Hopefully I do well in the playthrough, so you can see what all these things do. We're going to take this deck of objective cards, mix it up, and we're going to gain 1 objective plus 1 for how many characters we have. So we have 1, 2, 3 characters, and then we're going to have plus 1. So if you're ever playing solo, you do still have to complete 2 of these objectives. To complete the objectives, you flip it back over like this. But let's check out our objectives. The first one is going to be encounter the nest. We have to bring an incinerator to the nest. Oh my gosh, that's going to be... That's terrible. I don't want to do that. That's horrible. All right, our next one is going to be drive him into the airlock. Bring an incinerator to the airlock. Okay, well, I guess we'll be crafting an incinerator, I guess. Let's see what the next objective card is. We're going to check the hypersleep chamber. We're going to bring a motion tracker to the hypersleep chamber. And our last objective that we have right here is going to be, we'll take our chances in the shuttle. We have to drop 2 coolant canisters in the docking bay, and you'll see how to drop and gain items as we play through the game. The only thing left to do is we have to take our final mission deck and mix it up. If you're playing solo, there are a few of these you're going to be taking out, but we are not playing solo. I am a solo player, but I am playing with 3 characters. So we're going to mix all these up. We're going to take our final objective. We're going to place it right here. If we are able to complete all 4 of these objectives, then we'll see what our final mission is. Our 3 characters are going to start here in the galley, and they're going to now start performing our actions. The player that goes first is the last person who had a cat hiss at them. Well, I don't have a cat, and I don't remember the last time anything hissed at me, and I'm by myself. So I get to choose which one of these I want to activate first. The actions our characters are able to perform are found on our reference card right here. Here is all the things that we can do. 1, we can use an action to move 1 space. We can use an action to pick up or drop an item. To do this, we can perform one of the following. We can pick up any number of scrap, pick up 1 item in a room, drop 1 item, or drop any number of scrap. We could use craft, perform one of the following, use your special ability, use an item you have, or craft an item. We also have trade. We can give or take any number of items with other crew in the same space as you. And here's some of the icons that we're going to see on some of the cards for scrap: conceal tokens, attack / morale, basically taking damage, or else we have our move symbol as well. This game is broken up into 2 phases. The first is the crew action phase, then the encounter phase. So we'll start by using Parker. Parker does have 4 actions that he is able to perform, and like I said, he can spend an action to make a scrap if he wishes to. He is going to spend 1 action to create 1 scrap. We're just going to go ahead and place that right onto his character board right there, and he gets now 3 more actions. He's going to move 1, 2, 3. Each time you move, you do have to count each space. So these little corridors do count as a space. 1, 2, 3. He moves right to there. That is the end of his crew action phase. We're now going to go to the encounter phase, where we're going to draw the top of our encounter card and activate it. We have quiet, docking bay. So what we have on this card, the first is, this is how far the alien is going to move, and he'll be moving towards the closest person. Then he's going to do 2 morale damage if he's able to make it to a person. Then in the docking bay, we are going to put 2 scrap and a conceal token. So let's take care of all of this that's on the card. First thing, our alien moves 1 space out of the hive. Next, we'll place a conceal token and 2 scrap in the docking bay. Finally, we'll discard this card and move into our next player's turn. We're going to choose Lambert as our next player to go. She gets to do 4 actions, and as an action, she can look at the top of the encounter card, and she's going to do that, meaning she'll have 3 actions left. I am going to keep this on top. It is another quiet card. I'm a huge fan of quiet cards. We're not going to put that at the bottom. She now has 3 more actions that she can perform. Lambert is going to move 1, 2, and if you notice, there's a green arrow here. That means that it can go to the other place on the board. The way this map is laid out is you have 2 separate sections of the ship. These are the 2 places that are able to see each other, and these 2 places can connect to each other as well. So she will go 1, 2, and then 3 into the equipment storage room. Now that she's done, we'll draw our encounter card, and we know what it is. It is an all quiet card, and we're going to put some stuff in Mother. All quiet, our alien moves 1 space according to our card up here. Next, we'll put 2 scrap and a conceal token up in Mother, which is a little bit off camera right up here, right next to where Parker is. We'll place our other conceal token right there. Mother's full of stuff. We'll discard our card, move into Brett's turn. Sadly, Brett only has 3 actions. I'm a little disappointed in that, but he's going to go 1, 2, and for his third, there's a conceal token here. So when you enter a room with a concealed token, the first thing you do is check to see if you're completing an objective by entering that room. Nope, not going to happen. We're not going to be completing objectives, so now we're going to check our conceal token and see what it is. It's Jonesy. We have found Jonesy. Jonesy's going to do 1 morale damage to us, and if we had what's called the cat carrier, we could capture this cat and not have to worry about this, but we don't have a cat carrier, so this guy's going to scare us for 1. So we'll move our morale track down 1, and right down here is our cat carrier. If you reveal Jonesy, remove that token and place it under this item. Sadly, we didn't have the item. That's okay. Let's get the scrap. With Brett's third action, he's going to grab 2 scrap. And when you pick up scrap from the board, you can pick up as much of it is 1 space as you wish. So if there's 6 scrap there, he could take it all in 1 shot. Pretty cool. Let's drop our next encounter card and see what happens. We have Alien Lost the Signal. Return the alien to the nest. Place a concealed token in each room where no crew members or concealed tokens are present. Oh, this is terrible. Shuffle all alien encounter cards back into the encounter deck. So we're going to take care of that, and then we're going to put all the alien cards back in the deck. Now notice these say quiet, they do not say alien, so these do not get shuffled in the deck. The way this game works is as you play, the longer you play, the more dangerous this deck can get, because as you can see, we're mixing in alien cards. So if there were like 3 alien cards and 2 of these quiet cards, we would mix the quiet one in, and this deck would become more and more deadly to us. But as it is, we're only going to be shuffling the deck, and we only have to deal with what this card says. So before we shuffle it, let's deal with the card, or I might forget what I have to do. So good news, the alien goes back to the nest. The bad news is I now have to place one of these concealed tokens I'm mixing up over here on the side into each room where no crew member or concealed tokens are present. There's a crew member here. We already have 3 concealed tokens here. We don't have one in the suit storage. We don't have one in the airlock. We don't have one here in the med bay, and we don't have one in the hypersleep or the galley. So, oh wow, they're going to be all over the place. Galley, and there's also one in the bridge here. All right, we have concealed tokens pretty much everywhere except for here and here. This place just became super deadly. Now we're going to take that card, give this deck a good old truffle shuffle just like this, and we're going to move into our next turn. That was Brett's turn. It's now going to go back up to Parker. Parker's going to be our next person to act, and there's a lot of scrap up here. Hopefully that concealed token is not terrible. For our first action, we are going to gain 1 scrap. Why not? For our second action, we're going to move in, or maybe what I could do is I could create a motion tracker. We're going to do that. We're going to create this motion tracker. We're going to use 2 scrap. That's going to cost us 1 action to create it. And what the motion detector does is it can reveal a concealed token in a room up to 2 spaces away. If it's an alien, place the alien figure in the room, you gain an action. Shuffle the unrevealed token into the concealed token stack. And I have unlimited uses with this. So we're going to take our motion tracker and place it down next to Parker. Parker is now carrying 1 of 3 items that he can. So he's used 1 action to create scrap. He used the second action to create the motion tracker. He's going to use the third action to use the motion tracker to reveal this token. And it is not an alien. We'll put it back with our other concealed tokens. For our fourth action, we are going to move into Mother. With his crew action phase complete, we will draw our next encounter card for the encounter phase. We have found Order 937. For those of you that were not sure what Ash is doing just hanging out in the med bay, this is a card that's going to be the one that is controlling Ash. Each crew lose 1 scrap. So the only person that has scrap is Brett. So he automatically is going to lose 1 scrap. Next, we will now move Ash 2 spaces if Ash is in the ship. And we are playing with Ash, so we will now move him 2 spaces. And then I will discard this card. Whenever Ash moves, he uses the shortest route to move toward the nearest room or hallway with any scrap tokens or a crew member, whichever is closer. If there's a tie, the crew decides which one Ash moves toward. And if the crew really can't make up their mind, the active player is the one that makes the final decision. So since Brett is up here, he's going to be the closest person. This scrap is technically, from what I understand, it's kind of like Ash's scrap. He's not actually going to go after this scrap. He's going to move 1, 2 up here towards Brett. Lambert is next. For her first action, she is going to look at the top encounter card. It is all quiet, and it's going to be the airlocks. The airlock's going to gain some cool stuff, and the alien is going to move 1 space. So that's 1 action. Our second action, we're going to pick up this coolant canister. We needed 2 of those in order to complete our mission. We need to take 2. We have to drop them in the shuttle base, or docking base, sorry. So we have to get there. That's 2 actions. 1 to look at the card, 2 to grab our coolant canister. I really kind of want to get some of this scrap, but I'm afraid of this alien over here in the hive. I don't like that. So we're actually going to move back up, and I think we might try to help I need to get a motion tracker, because with all these concealed tokens out here, this is bad news. I've already got one, which Parker has, but having another one wouldn't be bad. I could risk it and move 2 spaces this way, but it's going to be a long time before it's her turn. And this alien, even if it just gets all quiet twice, it would be enough to get to her. So I think we have to go back up. For our third action, we're going to move into the suit storage, which does not trigger an objective completion. So we'll flip over our token, and we found Jonesy again. So we're going to take another hit on the morale track. All right, we're going to mix that in with the rest of our tokens. She has one more action left. She might try to go steal Ash's scrap here and get another motion tracker going. Because we found Jonesy, we're going to move this down 1, and we'll draw that encounter card, which is going to place things in the airlock. So our alien is going to move out of that hive 1 space. I'm just going to move it. You saw where he was when we started this. We're going to gain 2 scrap and put a concealed token in the airlock. Our airlock already has a concealed token, and you don't ever put more than 1. So we are going to put the 2 scrap, but we're not going to place the concealed token since there is that one there. Brett's next. I'm going to be a little risky with him. First action is we're going to move through this ladder down to the bottom part. So it'll be 1 action to here. At this point, I have to reveal this token and see what it is. It's nothing. Oh, that's perfect. That's super perfect. For our second action, we're going to grab this scrap. That gives us a total of 3 scrap. Because of his special power, he is able to reduce the cost of any item that costs 2 or more scrap by 1 scrap. Items don't take an action to craft. It doesn't take him any actions to craft this, and if we look at this card, to create our incinerator, it's going to cost us, was it 4 scrap? So for him, it's only going to cost 3. If an alien is within 3 spaces, send it to the nest. If you do, do not draw an encounter card this turn. I only get 2 uses with it. We're going to take our incinerator and we're going to place it down on his character board. He now, of course, has only 2 things left he can do. We're going to discard this scrap because we used it to buy that incinerator. He does now get 1 more action. It cost him 1 to move down here, 2 to pick up that scrap. So he gets now a free action, and I think we're going to move back up towards, or I could move down here and I could almost get to that nest with the incinerator. Oh, that'd be really good. But the alien's there, it's going to be bad news. I could pick up this coolant canister. I think I'm going to do that as my third action. And since he has that free action because he created the incinerator, I moved 1, 2 to pick up the scrap, free action to create the incinerator. Oh, that means there only has 1 left. I don't know if I want to pick up the coolant canister with that alien so close. I think it's better to move back up. Or is it? Oh, I don't know. It's always so tough. Which one do we do when you get the coolant canister? I think we pick up the coolant canister because we've got to drop these off in the docking bay. All right, we're going to take the coolant canister. That's the deal. With his actions complete, we're going to draw our encounter card. We have another all quiet in the garage. So our alien's going to move 1, and we're going to put 3 scrap and a concealed token in the garage. It already has a concealed token, so we're just going to put the 3 scrap. This alien will move 1 space that way. We'll place 2 scrap in the garage, and as you can see, it already has a concealed token, so we will not be placing 1 there. Next, it'll be Parker's turn. The first thing he's going to do, he is going to activate his motion tracker so he can look at a concealed token that is up to 2 spaces away. He's going to check this out and see what he has found. He has found nothing. So we'll go ahead and mix that in with our other concealed tokens. He's now going to pick up all of this scrap. He's going to have 4. So that's his second action to pick it all up. His third action, he is also going to create an incinerator. He's got all that scrap, he might as well use it. And for his fourth action, he's going to pick up this coolant canister. The reason I checked out this token is if it was the alien actually gets placed here, and then I get an extra action. So if I could have created the incinerator and blasted him back to the nest, which would have been pretty cool. But it was nothing, and that's equally good to find nothing. We're going to draw our next encounter card for Parker. And this time the alien is stalking, so this is going to be bad, but that's the way it works. Oh, look at this. It's going to move 3 spaces towards the closest character, and it's going to cause 3 morale damage. Oh, that's it. Now notice it doesn't do anything else. That's just all it is. And it has that alien keyword. So remember that card that was going to mix up the alien cards back in? Oh, this would be one of the cards going back in. Oh, this card is a barf card. Look at this. 3. Yuck. Our closest crew member here is Brett, so he's going to move right here. 1, he's going to do 3 morale damage. At this point, Brett is now gotten countered by this alien. He has to flee 3 squares. He's actually going to flee 1, 2, 3 to the nest. Probably not the smartest move on Brett's part, but I have a plan. Since we are now in the nest, since we have entered the nest, we check to see if objectives have been completed. And the encounter the nest is now complete. Bring the incinerator to the nest. We have an incinerator. We are in the nest. Our objective is complete. I'm going to flip that over. We have completed one of our objectives. Of course, that came at a cost of 1, 2, 3 morale. Brett is in a world of hurt down there in the hive. Probably wasn't my best plan, but we had to complete the objective. She's going to go next. I could go after this scrap over here. I think we are going to do that. We're going to move 1, 2. We're going to be revealing this token. We have found nothing again. Oh, wow, so good. 1, 2, 3, we're going to pick up this scrap. And 4, we're going to create another motion tracker. I think that's going to be our plan. This motion tracker will be good. Or I could create a flashlight, which also costs 2 as well. And here is what the flashlight does. Whenever you lose morale, reduce the amount lost by 1. May be used when it's not your turn and does not stack with other flashlights. And no action is required. Oh, it's so tempting. But we have a lot of concealed tokens out there. I think I am going to create this motion tracker. Is that the right plan? Probably not, but that's the way it works. She is done. I'm going to draw an encounter card and see what happens. All quiet in the workshop. So we're going to move our alien 1 space and then put some stuff in the workshop. Now, if you haven't noticed, sadly, Parker is still the closest crew member here. 1, 2, 3. And the other character is 1, 2, 3, 4. Lambert is 4 squares away. Brett is 3. So the alien moves back 1 space. And in the workshop, we're going to be placing 1 scrap and a concealed token. The workshop is right here. We already have a concealed token, so we'll place a scrap. Moving into Brett's turn, we have some options. 1, you can walk right into an alien square if you wish to. You'll take a 2 morale hit, and you will flee 3 squares. Also, if it is your turn when the alien comes, when you move into an alien, and it makes you actually flee, that is the end of your encounter phase or your action phase, so I wouldn't be able to do anything else with him. Our other options, I could move 1, use my incinerator, which will move the alien back to its nest. Now, sadly, that means the nest is right here, but at least I've kind of jumped past him and moved 1 more space, and we can just hope that this alien doesn't move twice. So we're going to use our incinerator, which means it only has 1 use left. We'll put it back with Brett. Those are his 3 actions. This poor guy could be in a world of hurt. We'll draw our encounter card and see what happens. We have found all quiet in the hypersleep chamber. This alien will move 1 space, and unless Parker can come down and save him, which probably isn't going to happen, if I get another all quiet, it's going to be curtains for Brett here. He's going to be running yet again. But we'll put 2 scrap and a concealed token in the hypersleep chamber. Our 2 scrap will go right here, and we already have a concealed token there. Parker is going to start his turn by moving 1, 2, and at this point he is 2 squares away. He will use his motion tracker to see what he finds. He has found nothing. Actually, to tell you the truth, I was hoping maybe the alien might have been there. I will use my last action to move 1 space this way, and now we will draw our encounter card. This is probably going to be the end for Brett. It's all quiet. So yes, it's going to move 1 space onto Brett. He's going to take 2 morale hit, but the bridge is going to gain a scrap and a concealed token, which is right here. We'll put the scrap there, and we're mixing up our concealed tokens and place another one out on the board. I do want to mention that if he would have been stationed in the air or in the bridge when this came down, it wouldn't be revealed. It's only if you ever move into a space that you deal with the concealed token. But he sadly was over here. But I just wanted to make sure you understood that that is one of the rules here that you might come into that you're not sure how to deal with that. If you're not in the space, or you move into the space, you reveal it. If you're in the space and you place one, you don't reveal it. There we go. Said it twice. Let's take 2 morale damage. Let's move that alien. Let's be really sad. We'll move our token 1, 2. We'll move our alien 1, and I did a little out of turn, but that's okay. The alien moves in, we take the 2 morale hit. He has to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, and 3. If Brett were to have hit another concealed token while he's running, we would have had to reveal that and dealt with it. Lambert will be going next. She gets to do 4 actions. She is going to move 1, 2, 3. She's moving right by Ash. But from what I understand, if Ash encounters any crew, he will stop, and each crew member sharing space with Ash must discard 1 scrap token or decrease morale by 1. Lose 1 morale for each crew member unable to discard a scrap token. That's if he encounters you. And the aliens do the same thing. If an alien encounters you, you take 2 morale hit, and you have to flee 3 squares. It may be impossible to avoid encountering an alien during the crew action phase. If a crew member encounters the alien in the crew action phase, morale is decreased by 2 and the affected crew member flees 3 spaces, just like the other thing. So I believe, according to the way it's worded, Ash has to encounter you, where if you encounter the alien, it's a different type of situation. She's moved 1, 2, 3, and at this point, she has her motion tracker again, where I could check out this token, or I can help try to complete the docking bay one, where I have to drop a canister in the docking bay. I don't know which one to do. I think we're going to drop our canister right here. I know our alien is pretty close to getting to this space, so if I can get these canisters here and get this done and get away from this space, hopefully the alien won't do anything to us. Lambert has completed her turn. She will draw an encounter card. We have the alien lost the signal. So we're going to return the alien to the nest and place concealed tokens in each room where no crew member or concealed tokens are present. Shuffle the alien encounter cards back in the encounter decks. This actually really helped us in some ways and not in others. The first thing we'll do is return the alien to the nest, and notice it has a 2 morale hit here. My guess is if that's because you have a person in the nest and it returns there, it would take a 2 morale hit. Next, we'll place a concealed token in each room where no crew member is present, and we'll shuffle the alien cards. Again, there's not too many places that don't have concealed tokens, but we'll place them down anyway. We have one here, and we also have one in the equipment storage. We have one in the suit storage, mother. We have one in the galley, and I think that's it. Oh, the med bay also needs one as well. There, we have all our concealed tokens out on the board, and I think I've got all of them. Nope, I don't think I missed any. That's great. The only ones I don't have a concealed token in is the docking bay, and that's because Lambert is there. Sadly, these 2 guys are standing outside their rooms. Come on, get in the rooms, guys. That's it. The last thing we're going to do is take this card and any other alien card from our deck and mix it back in. So here we go. See how this is becoming a more dangerous deck. Oh, look, this deck is pretty short, and we're putting more alien cards in here. He's going to start stalking us. We got to finish these objectives and get to that final objective and try to win this thing. All right, we'll put these back down there after giving him a good old truffle shuffle, and we'll move into Brett's turn. Brett is going to risk it. He's going to move into the airlock. He does have the incinerator, and so according to this card, drive him into the airlock, bring the incinerator to the airlock. We have done this. We will complete this mission and flip it over. And you do check your mission, check whether or not you completed your mission before you check out this token. So hopefully this token doesn't kill us. We'll see how this goes. It is nothing, so we're going to put that one back. And he has moved 1 square into the airlock. Oh, he could move 2. Maybe he could grab this scrap as a second action. He's going to do that. He's going to grab this scrap as a second action. And with these 2 scrap, he is going to create something. For 2 scrap, I can create a flashlight, or for 1 scrap, I can create a cat carrier. I think we're going to grab the flashlight. I'm going to use the 2 scrap to create this flashlight, and because of his ability, any item that costs 2 or more scrap costs 1 less. This costs 2, so I don't get to take that benefit, but items don't take an action to craft. So it didn't cost anything to craft that action. It cost us 1 to move in, 2 to pick up the scrap, and then 3 to move back after we got to craft the flashlight for free. That was sweet. I love that he can do all that. We're going to draw our next encounter card and see what happens. We have all quiet in the med bay. We'll place down 2 scrap into the med bay. We'll also put a concealed token there, but there's already 1. And we'll move our alien 1 space outside of the nest. We'll move into Parker's turn now. Parker, should I just walk in there, or should I check out what it is with my motion tracker? If I use the motion tracker, I'm going to use the motion tracker. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use the motion tracker. Here we go. Motion tracker. Come on. Nothing too bad. Okay, good. Nothing. So we're going to put that out. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, sadly, I don't have an extra action to drop a coolant canister, which is terrible. Oh, that would have been so good. I mean, I shouldn't have used. I needed to use the motion tracker, because if that was the alien, that would have been Bad News City, and it wasn't. That's the end of his turn. We'll draw our card. Let's see what we found. We have found Order 937, meet in the infirmary. The active crew member moves to the med bay. If Ash is in the ship and no crew member is with him, move him 2 spaces. Oh, the active player moves to the med bay. Yuck! He moves over here. And since he moved over there, he has to reveal this concealed token. Oh, it's Jonesy. Boo! Jonesy boos us. And we're going to lose 1 morale. Also now, here he comes. He is going to move 1 space, or he's going to move towards the closest crew or a place where there is scrap. Lambert is the closest. He'll move up to Lambert. Lambert has to discard 1 scrap or take a 1 morale hit. Ash, what a terrible, terrible man. Now Parker is nowhere near where I want him to be, but I guess, well, we'll see how it happens. All right, let's take our 2 morale hit, 1 because of Jonesy and 1 because I don't have any scrap to get rid of with Ash moving in and encountering me. We're getting dangerously low on morale. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we lose if we take a 6th hit. But we have only 2 objectives left. We're getting pretty close. We've already dropped off 1 coolant canister, and the hypersleep chamber is not too far away. Speaking of not too far away, we're going to use our motion tracker to check out this token right here. Oh, it's nothing. That's perfect. Now, I could choose to stay here, and if I do, that means I am putting Ash under guard, kind of. They call it something different than that, but it's pretty much the same thing. They keep him under observation, and he's not able to move, and the crew member will not need to discard scrap or lose morale if I'm watching him. But she's not going to do that. She's going to go complete her objective. First action she used was to check out that. Second is going to be to move here. Third is going to be to move here. Moving into the hypersleep chamber with our motion tracker is going to complete our 3rd objective. Check the hypersleep chamber. Bring a motion tracker to the hypersleep chamber. We've done that. We have completed our objective. We'll flip it over. We are down to only 1 objective left. Oh, this is so close. For my last action, I'm actually going to grab the coolant canister. Oh, we're not going to need the coolant canister. We're going to grab the scrap. For my 4th action, I'm going to grab scrap, or should I check out the encounter card? Let's check out the encounter card. I'm going to draw the next encounter card and look at it with her 4th action. The first one was to use the motion tracker, 2, 3, and now for her 4th one, let's see if we want to keep this on top or put it on the bottom. Alien stock, move it 3 spaces. We do not want this on top. I am going to discard or put this on the bottom. Her ability allows us to put it on the bottom of the deck or leave it on top. I'm going to put it on the bottom. She has completed her turn. We are going to go ahead and draw our next card, All Quiet. Suit storage. We'll put some stuff in the suit storage over there and move our alien 1 space. Our alien will move 1 space towards the closest person. We'll put 2 scrap in the suit storage and we'll leave our concealed token there because we already have 1. We'll discard that card. It's now Brett's turn. Brett is going to move into here with his first action. His second action is he is going to drop this coolant canister in our docking bay. That will complete our 3rd mission. So we'll drop the 2 canisters in the docking bay. So we'll flip over our card. We have now completed all 4 of our objectives. The moment has come to see what our final mission is. We have blow it out into space. We have to shuffle the encounter discard pile back into the encounter decks, the entire thing. All crew members gain an additional ability, spend an action to discard 1 scrap token to reveal the top card of the encounter deck. You may choose to put it on the bottom of the encounter deck. Victory. The alien must be in or adjacent to the docking bay. Then 1 crew member must be in the airlock. 1 crew member must be at the bridge. Reveal an alien type encounter card from the deck in the encounter phase to win. Okay, so we have to set this up perfectly. Wow, what an absolutely bonkers mission we have to do. But it's super thematic. This is what they did in the movie. This is going to be awesome. So we'll have to see if we can try to make that happen. For Brett's final action, he moved 1, put the canister down for 2. For his 3rd and final action, he's going to use his incinerator. I believe you can do this because it is a total of 3 spaces. And here, check this out. 1, 2, that gets him. It's going to move him back to the nest. He doesn't have an incinerator anymore. He used both charges of this incinerator, so we'll place it back over with the rest of our items. That's the end of Brett's turn. We'll draw our encounter card and see what happens. Oh no, the alien's going to stalk. This is terrible. I was hoping he would stay away for a little while. Oh no, this is going to be terrible. All right, he's going to move 3 spaces towards us. He'll move 1, 2, 3 to right there. Oh, Barf, I don't want him to come towards me. Parker's turn is next. Parker is going to move 1, 2, 3. And at this point, he is going to now use his incinerator because we know that alien is super close. So we're going to use that once. We'll remove this from where it is and put him back in the nest where he belongs. We're going to draw our encounter card for Parker and see what happens. It's stalking us again. We got all the alien cards. So we'll move the alien 2 spaces. It will move 1, 2. I don't know if we can hold this alien off long enough to make it through this, but we'll give it our best shot. Lambert's going to go next. She'll move 1, 2, 3, 4 with her 4 actions. That's the end of her turn. Or I could stop her here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to stop her there, and she's going to go ahead and look at the top card. The alien hunt. No, the alien does not hunt. The alien hunt goes on the bottom of the deck, just like that. That's the end of her actions. Now we're going to look at the top card. Order 9, 3, 7. Each crew loses 1 scrap. That's not going to happen. If Ash is in the ship, move him 1 space. Right now, Ash is not going to move. He is under observation by Parker and Brett. So he's not going to do anything to us, which is awesome. That's the end of Lambert's turn. We're going to move into Brett's turn. Brett is going to be the one that moves over to the airlock with 2 actions. But before he does, he's going to trade this flashlight to Parker for one of his actions. As one of the actions on your card, you can trade, give or take any number of items with another other crew member in the same space as you. So I'm giving that to Parker in case that alien actually does make it to him. I can lessen the blow. It'll hopefully help us out a little bit. That's the end of Brett's turn. We'll draw our next card. We have Quiet in the galley. This is going to move the alien 1 space. We're going to gain 2 scrap and 1 concealed token in the galley. So right when we thought it was going to be safe, we're going to put 2 scrap and 1 concealed token in the galley, which is right the way she... Oh, if I wouldn't have drawn the card and put her in here, this concealed token wouldn't even matter. But now it does. There's 2 concealed tokens. My plan was to use her motion tracker on the one in here, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about any of these, but this is terrible. All right, that's the end of Brett's turn. We're going to move into Parker's turn. But before we do, we have to move our alien 1 space. And the alien is actually going to be sent right back to the nest. I'm going to use my incinerator straight down that hole, and we're going to send it back there through by shooting him through these ladder air duct areas here. We'll send it back to the nest, and I think that might be all Parker does. No, it's not. I have another plan. We're going to use the incinerator as our first action. Our second action is we are going to use the motion tracker to see what this is. This is Jonesy. All right, we're just going to put that one back. It doesn't do any damage to us because we actually weren't revealing where it is. Let's take a look at what our motion tracker actually does. Reveal a concealed token in a room up to 2 spaces away. If it's an alien, place the alien figure in the room. You gain an action. Shuffle the revealed token into the concealed token deck. I don't believe that the Jonesy is going to actually hurt us. If it does, please leave that in the comments below so I can go ahead and take care of that rule error. But I don't think it does because we actually aren't revealing inside the room. Could be wrong. That was his second action. For his third action, he's going to gain a scrap. Why not? He can do it once a turn. So he's going to gain 1 scrap. Don't know what we're going to do with it, but he's going to hold on to it. And that's going to be the end. He's going to stay here in the docking bay. Oh, I lied. We're going to look at this card so I make sure I do this all right. It says an alien must be in or adjacent to the docking bay. 1 crew member must be in the airlock. 1 crew member must be at the bridge. So being in the docking bay isn't where we want to be. We're going to put him in the airlock. He's going to move 2 spaces over to the airlock to hang out with Brett. That's going to be our plan. Now we have to reveal an alien type card from the deck in the encounter phase to win. But in order to do that, I've got to get her over to the bridge. It's going to be her turn, but first we have to draw an alien card here. It is all quiet still in the equipment room, so we'll place 2 scrap in the equipment room and move our alien. Our equipment room is right here, and we'll move our alien 1 space. It is now Lambert's turn. Lambert is going to move 1. She's going to use her motion tracker to reveal this token and see what it is. It is nothing. Oh, this is perfect. All right. Okay, she's going to go 3, 4. She is in the bridge. We have people in the airlock. She's in the bridge. We just got him in or adjacent to the docking bay. It's all we have to do. So we'll go ahead, draw our encounter card. Oh, order 937. That's terrible. Oh, look, it's the magazine he used. It's pretty cool. The active crew member loses all scrap tokens. Totally fine. Shuffle order 937 encounter cards back into the encounter deck if Ash is on the ship and no crew member is with him. Move him 2 spaces. Oh, terrible. He's going to come and get us. All right, let's take care of that. Now, good news, we're going to take advantage of potentially him not doing the right things because he's kind of losing it. He gets to move 2 spaces either towards a room with scrap or a hallway with scrap or a character. And in case of a tie, which is here 1-2 or 1-2, I get to choose. The crew members do. So I'm going to move him 1-2 and he's going to destroy all the scrap. I guess it could be crap and scrap in the hypersleep chamber. Oh, sorry about that. We're now going to... That's the end. We have to shuffle all the 937 cards back into the deck. So again, it's becoming even more dangerous deck. Now it's going to be a very Ash heavy deck as opposed to an alien heavy deck, which is we need it to be an alien heavy deck, not an Ash heavy deck. So we have just, look at these, 4 Ash cards, and look how many cards we actually have left. We have like 4 cards. So we got 4 Ash cards and 4 of his cards. These are terrible. All right. We're... Give those a good old truffle shuffle. And now that Lambert's turn is done, we'll move into Brett's turn. Brett sadly doesn't really have anything he can do. He can't create scrap. And the only way for us to do our extra action is spend an action and discard 1 scrap token, reveal the top card. So I can't do any of that. We just have to reveal this and we're at the mercy of this card. Because I'm not moving Brett. Brett's going to stay right there. It is an alien moving card, and it's going to move 3 spaces. Oh, this I think is it. Oh, I think we did it. All right, let's check it out. Our alien is going to move 1, 2, and 3. It is in the docking bay. That's the end of our turn. Check this out. The alien must be in or adjacent to the docking bay. It is in or adjacent to the docking bay. 1 crew member must be in the airlock and 1 crew must be in the bridge. That is true. Reveal an alien type encounter card from the deck in the encounter phase to win. Oh no, it's not that time yet. Okay, it's going to be soon. That got him here. That's not the actual end here. We have to now resolve an alien type encounter card now that it's in the docking bay. We'll move into Parker's turn. Parker's first action, he's going to gain a scrap. Then as an action, he is going to go ahead and take advantage of our ability to spend an action and discard a scrap token to reveal the top card of the encounter deck. You may choose to put on the bottom of the encounter deck. Let's see which one we have. We have an alien card. Oh, I'm leaving that right up on top, and he is done. He's got the button on the airlock. We're going to flip the card, and boom, that alien goes into the airlock, and see ya. Sayonara, alien. We were able to shove him out the airlock, light the engines, and blew him up. Woohoo! Let's just make sure again that we have everything right. So the alien must be in and adjacent to the docking bay. It sure is. 1 crew member is in the airlock. The other crew member is at the bridge. We reveal an alien type encounter card from the deck during the encounter phase to win. We totally did. Now this is one of the cards you would be removing if you were playing solo because obviously you couldn't have 2 people in, 1 person in 2 different places. But we were able to blow them out the airlock. That's fantastic. And there you have it. We were able to survive the game Alien Fate of the Nostromo. We were able to put the alien out in the airlock. That was super gratifying. Loved it so much. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when more things come out. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. This game is super cool. I'm actually pretty excited at how fast this game moves. I love the action phase is super fast. You draw a card, deal with the alien, or potentially Ash if you have that. And you're going to run around, grab scrap. You're going to create the different items and stuff. Some of them are used for some of these objectives. It was pretty awesome. I really enjoy how quick and fun this game can be. Of course, there are 4 other final mission cards that we haven't played, and there's also a bunch of other objective cards we don't know what they are as well. And we never got to use the self-destruct system. That's even part of this game, which is pretty awesome. Thank you again for watching, and if you're excited to see what comes next on the USCSS Nostromo or anything else on the channel, then I need you to meet me at the table.